Brian the Geek here, and today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett, the finale. I might do a whole season review, but right now I've got the finale on my brain, so that is what I want to talk about. And I'll be honest, I feel a little mixed about the finale. There's a lot that I really liked, some stuff that really didn't work for me, so let's talk about it. First thing we gotta talk about is Boba Fett himself. I feel like we sort of got the Boba Fett that we've really been hoping we'd get. He definitely kicked some ass, he definitely looked awesome in some of his action scenes, but I still didn't feel like he went completely awesome. We didn't get the Boba Fett that, you know, Vader was like, no disintegrations. Like, I didn't feel at any time like that Boba Fett was the one that we got. He didn't kind of have a moment of reverting back to that kind of thing, or even like Boba in Mando season 2 where he was just wrecking stormtroopers. He had much more reason to be wrecking the pikes that way. But we didn't really see that a whole ton, and we didn't really get a resolution to like him with the Tuskens. Fennec is the one who took out the Pike leader, not Boba. Kind of weird, and like, why did we spend 2 episodes with them if it didn't really directly have that kind of repercussion, like didn't impact the finale in the way that we would have really wanted. So it was a little bit weird. The finale to me didn't really tie up all the loose ends that we wanted. Yeah, that's my dog. Enjoy her, she just likes to run around. She's kind of my own personal Grogu, which actually I do want to talk about Grogu. In some ways, like, I really enjoyed what he brought to this episode. It was very cute, very sweet, but at the same time, he almost took away from Boba, and him coming back to Din so soon after the Mando season 2 finale kind of took away from the big emotionality of Mando season 2. Like, us who are watching it live, like as it's airing, we had that year to wait. But on rewatches, or people who are visiting the shows new and fresh after they've aired, are gonna have basically 2 episodes of Mando not seeing Grogu, and then boom, he's back already. I'd expected there to be more like a half season of Mando season 3, for example, where Mando is not gonna see him. There's kind of gonna be this question of what's he gonna do, and then maybe he comes back, or there's gonna be some other obstacles that prevent Mando from having Grogu with him, because that makes good drama, good TV. So that was kind of my expectation, and so I was really surprised when Grogu just like pops up and is back. He made his choice. We don't even see kind of like Luke's reaction to that at all. So that was weird to me. I didn't feel like that necessarily worked as well as it could have, because all of us were shedding tears at the end of Mando season 2. I've even got a video about that. I got a video about my predictions for Grogu that I'm going to be doing another video kind of reacting to that a little bit and seeing what I got right and what I didn't get right. But that was kind of weird. I loved what Grogu did. I loved the moment where he's like sleeping next to the Rancor like it's his big dog or something, or he's like its little pet. I don't quite know how that all worked exactly, but like, that was really cute. Him, you know, breaking the droid, kind of the callback to him being trained with the little ball, and him basically doing the same thing to save Mando. All that was really fun, but again, I feel like it took away some emotional weight from what we got at the end of Mando season 2, as well as even the last episode where Mando chose not to see Grogu because he needed to train him. He needed to let Luke train him, and was trying to do what was best for him. So it was a little weird, kind of the execution of that. Moving on from that, some things that I really liked. The Rancor, completely badass. Mando and Boba fighting together, really awesome. Really enjoyed all of those moments, even though it didn't feel like Boba quite went full Boba. It was still very cool to see him and Din fighting back to back, side by side, using their jetpacks. A lot of cool stuff like that. I can't remember what the droids were called, but the big battle droids that basically were crazy destroyer droids, like on steroids, massively multiplied, super cool. My only complaint about that is that they were terrible shots. I really would have liked to see more of the people of Freetown, and maybe a couple of the, the Power Rangers get killed by those, like as they were running away. Kind of how I would have liked to see it would have been something like we saw with the Rebel retreat on Hoth, where the rebels were running away, and then AT-ATs were just wrecking them, and some were escaping, but it was not a casualtyless battle. I only saw like one Freetown person die, and we saw like one or two of the speed bikers, like a no-name red shirt, like die, not even one of like the ones who had lines. So that was a little disappointing because it didn't feel like there was really any stakes in the battle, because we were not losing people. Even if we'd lost a bunch more no-name people, it still would have felt like, oh, we've got some more stakes in this. But if the bad guys can't hit anybody except for Mandalorians with Beskar, it really doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of stakes, which was a bummer. Like, I didn't have a big problem with the Cad Bane fight. I know a lot of people were maybe a little disappointed with the Cad Bane fight. Like, I think it was fine. It was a fine maybe end to the character. There's a lot of theories that he's not dead, so we'll see. Maybe Toto will come and save him, and he'll be a villain in Book of Boba Season 2 if there's a Book of Boba Season 2, or there will be, something cool will happen for Boba and Cad Bane. Black Chrysanthemum was pretty cool. I felt like some of his actions, and I felt like this throughout the whole season, he's just really slow. They do a lot of kind of slow motion with him, but I feel like his action should be a lot faster. Like, if he's like this amazing warrior, he should just be throwing people down left and right really fast, and it's felt like he moves really slowly, like in all his action, which is weird because it kind of takes away some of his power and ferocity. Like, even Chewbacca moved a lot faster than Black K does, which is weird. So I didn't necessarily love that. I'm happy he survived, because hopefully they'll kind of learn from some of this and we can get some really badass action sequences with him. Fennec, who I feel like I should have talked about earlier, but she was barely in the episode, which is why I didn't think of her until just now. I wish that she'd been in it more. I totally get what she was doing, but I wish that she'd had more action, which I kind of wish that they'd build this as a Boba Fennec show rather than like the Book of Boba Fett, because like Fennec steals the show quite a bit of the time, which if it was billed as a Boba and Fennec show, that would have made sense. But it was kind of weird being the Book of Boba Fett. I was really surprised that we even got her assassinating the people the way that she did, especially like hanging Mayor Mok Shaiz the way that she did, because they've softened the show so much. So it was like, oh, they went there, they legit like hung him, and that's kind of brutal. So I was happy to see that, but I wish that we'd gotten more Fennec. I feel like for the amount of time we had, like 7 episodes, we should have gotten a lot deeper into Boba and Fennec, and this is kind of turning into a little bit of a season review, but I just wanted a little more screen time with Fennec in this finale. I was a little bummed out that we didn't get anything from, the people who were in the cantina who blew up the sanctuary. I thought maybe there'd be some survivors. I was kind of hoping that maybe Garsa Fwip wasn't dead, because she was interesting, and I'd hoped that we'd maybe see a little bit more from her character, but it seems that she was blown to bits, so no more from her character. Peli Motto was pretty funny. I didn't mind her inclusion in the episode. Her losing the tooth was hilarious. Her interactions with the Major Domo was funny. So I didn't mind kind of having her as that comic relief. I thought that worked just fine. I feel a little bit mixed about the Power Rangers, as people call them, the Vespa gang. Like, it was just kind of, I liked that some of them got more to do and they seemed to kind of come into their own a little bit, but then we had some really goofy stuff. Kind of the look of them's a little weird. I really wanted us to lose a couple of them, especially like, there's 4 kind of main ones. Like, take out the 2 that have no lines. That's like, we don't need them. They're just kind of like extra filler. R.I.P. Gamorreans. They were really our only 2 big losses. We lost them pretty quick, pretty early. So yeah, so I know this was a little jumbled, a little disoriented, but this was kind of my initial thoughts on the Book of Boba final episode, episode 7. So hope that you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video.